All right, so welcome back to Ladies of Golf, where we feature the women thriving throughout the golf industry. Today, I'm honored to introduce you to Nora Dunnan, who serves as Chief Operating Officer for Five Iron Golf and leads the company's expansion plans and the day-to-day operations. She is a co-founder of Five Iron and has shaped the company since its inception in 2017, creating this environment that has flipped standard golf culture on its head and making the game appealing to everyone, including for the ladies attendees in Chicago. So thank you for joining us today, Nora.
Of course, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for spending time with me today.
Yeah, of course. It looks beautiful out. You were just outside New York City.
Yeah, we moved out to the suburbs pre-COVID, so I feel lucky to be out here with a backyard and not being stuck in an apartment with two little kids.
For sure. Yeah. So for those who don't know, can you share what is Five Iron and kind of its origin story?
Yeah, absolutely. So Five Iron is an indoor golf facility. We started in Manhattan. We now have 2 locations there, and we've got a location in Chicago, Philadelphia, and Baltimore. We do a lot of things at Five Iron. We have a lot of simulators, and you can use them for so many different things. We have a lot of individuals who come in to practice and truly get better and improve their game. We have groups of friends who come in and rent the simulators to, watch football, drink beers, hang out. We do a lot of events, corporate events, private events, like birthday parties and bachelor parties. We have leagues in all of our cities that can get pretty competitive. We even do kids programs, and we have golf pros in all of our cities that give lessons as well. So we do a lot of different things at Five Iron. And we've got a bar and a food menu in all of our locations as well. So Five Iron is a place where, experienced golfers can come and, really try to practice, because if you're in a city, it's kind of hard to get out to an actual course or a real driving range. So, it's a great spot for dedicated golfers, but also beginners, novice golfers. We have all sorts of abilities coming into Five Iron, and I think it's a place where sort of anyone can come. And we try to be a really welcoming and friendly environment to everybody, not an intimidating place. And I think it's a really good spot to come and learn a little bit about golf or improve if that's what you're looking to do.
Yeah, I mean, the interior of a Five Iron Golf is super modern, and when you walk in, you're like, whoa, this is not what I was expecting, especially as a newcomer. How did you guys decide to kind of go in that direction?
All right, so yeah, the inside of Five Iron looks very different than your standard golf place. I think when most people picture golf, they think like country club, green tartan plaids and brown leather couches, and Five Iron is the opposite of that. When you come in, we've got concrete walls, we've got like graffiti murals up that are really bright and colorful. We have neon signs that have like a couple different slogans of ours, and it's just kind of has a very like urban and modern vibe to it. And we did that for a few reasons. We wanted to be different. We wanted to be a place where everybody could come and feel welcome. We also have our staff wearing like Five Iron t-shirts. They're not like in buttoned up collared shirts. And I think it just creates a more casual environment where anybody can come play and not be intimidated if they don't know what they're doing.
For sure. Did you always see yourself running a company like Five Iron?
No, I can't say I really like the idea of one day running my own company, but I didn't really have the guts to like start something on my own, nor did I have the idea. But as soon as like the concept of an indoor golf center was presented to me, and I remember that first conversation I had about like the idea that now I got really, really excited, like a dream job. Like, how cool would it be to run that company? Now I feel really lucky that we have been able to expand as much as we have and everything. And yeah, it's been a cool story, I would say. It definitely was not something I came up with overnight. But, I feel lucky I'm with the team that I am with. And yeah, it's been an adventure since 2015 was when we all started talking about it.
That's awesome. So, I mean, obviously it must be like really rewarding to bring this to life, but that comes with challenges. Do you have any stories that stick out in those first few months or years?
We'd been open for about 4 months when I got pregnant with my first child. And that was like panic mode for me because I did so many things for the business, like so many different aspects of things. And I was a little worried about how we were going to survive. And we made it through. We hired some other people and we made it through. But towards the end, when I had a huge belly, you know, we didn't think it was the most exciting for me to be like behind the bar slinging beers at 10 p.m. looking 8 months pregnant. So I switched to a lot of morning shifts, but the morning shifts, I had to get there at like 5:30. So towards the end of that, I was pretty exhausted. So my husband actually would go to work for me, and he would go and work from like 5:30 till 8, and then I would come relieve him, and he would go to his day job.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yep. Yes. So we definitely, you know, team effort, that's for sure.
And that comes with like being an entrepreneur, like you kind of have to figure it out.
And the recycling truck's going.
Yeah.
Are you there? You broke up for a second.
Yeah, and you've kind of gone in and out. I just don't know.
I can move inside if you need me to.
Okay, it might be easier.
Can you see me okay? Are we good?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we've moved locations. You just told us about, you know, what it's kind of like being an entrepreneur. You're pregnant. That's just your life outside of work. Fortunately, it made its way into work, especially at developing 5-Iron from the beginning. But that's kind of just like the reality of starting your own thing.
Yes, definitely. Personally, social life took a huge hit, but it's been kind of cool because I've become good friends with a lot of people I work with. And, you know, I always sort of joked that I had 2 babies, my actual baby and 5-Iron. I guess now it's 3 because I've had another kid since then.
Yeah.
But I love it. And at the end of the day, it gives me a ton of satisfaction and happiness to spend time doing work. Like, it sounds cheesy, but I enjoy doing my work emails. I enjoy being on work calls. And I think when you start something yourself, I guess, with a team that you really like, you know, I think it makes it a lot easier to truly love what you do.
Definitely. The last call I had was with Megan Lamoth of 4A Golf, who's also based in New York. And she was saying like the first time she saw somebody that she didn't know wearing her piece of clothing, she was like so excited. And she was like, that's mine. Like, I brought that to life. Do you ever have that kind of moment where you maybe saw somebody playing and they were just like really excited to be there, or like any sort of moment?
Yeah. Sort of similar to that story, you know, a couple times when I've been out and about wearing 5-Iron gear, people have stopped me. Nice. Said, oh, 5-Iron, that's cool. I go there too. Like, that place is awesome. And it's really cool to say like, oh, I'm actually one of the founders. And then they get so excited and want to hear the story. And my in-laws are big in they play a lot of golf out in Westchester, New York. So not far from the city. And anytime they have friends whose kids come into New York, live in New York and come into 5-Iron, I hear about that a lot too. Like, I'll get a text from them or something saying, oh, you know, so-and-so's son went into 5-Iron and had a great time. And it's really cool to hear that, you know, other people found out about 5-Iron on their own and come in, and, you know, especially back in the beginning, that was a really cool feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I know when we first, were coming to Chicago for the ladies. It was funny because you guys had pretty much recently opened, and guys would like walk down the stairs with their girlfriend just so they could like see the space, and then like would leave just so that they could like get a sneak peek of it. So that was really fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So what was something about the golf industry that maybe you didn't know before five iron? Like, has anything surprised you?
I would say one thing, I didn't grow up playing golf at all. I never even
Okay.
picked up a club until after college.
Okay.
It just wasn't really a part of like my family life growing up. And I kind of thought about golf as being a sport that like only kind of the hardcore golf people were in that world and knew about
Mhm.
golf. And there were like the golf nerds who would follow all the pros and that sort of thing. But what I realized, I guess, is way more people play golf and care about golf and want to play golf than I realized. Even take like Steph Curry, for example, right? I mean, personal plug, he and I were classmates at Davidson, so I'm a big fan of
Love
his.
it.
But like he is one of the ambassadors for the full swing simulators, but like people love watching him play golf. And when he did that tournament a couple years back, like that was really exciting. And so I think what I realized is that like there are so many more people who care about golf than just the people who like grew up playing because their dads played. And
Mhm.
so many people want to get into the game, and so many people want to learn, and I think that's great. And one other thing too is that I think also a lot of people have the stereotype that golf is more of a man's sport, but I do think that more and more a lot of women are eager to play, learning how to play, and I've seen a lot of my friends get excited about getting into it so they can go out and play like with their boyfriends, husbands, whatever,
Sure.
who maybe grew up playing, because it's something that you can do together and like as a whole family. And now that I have two little kids, one boy and one girl, it's something we want to teach them to play so we can all do that as an activity together, not something that just like the dad disappears for the day and comes back at in the evening. I think it's a really fun way to spend time with friends and family, and I'm really glad that I've now learned how to play, even though I maybe used to kind of poo-poo it as an actual sport. Um, but I've changed my tune, and I love that I now know how to play. I'm grateful that I've learned, and that I'm a part of the five iron community, and I feel happy that five iron is a place where we are encouraging so many more people to get into the game. Women especially.
Yeah, I think you made such a good point with like a lot, when I was younger, I played golf, but a lot of the time it was the activity where like, bye dad, see you in like 5 hours.
Yep.
Whereas now I do see it like so much more social. Like I just want to, it's just an activity to go do, whether I go play 9 for 2 hours or I go to five iron and run a space for 2 hours. Like it's just something to do rather than me like competing on the course.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Love it.
And I think that, I think the family golf dynamic, I hope will change more over time with more and more women getting into golf.
Hmm.
I think like that's kind of the future.
Totally. Yeah, I think I have a lot of hope for that. Since you did learn the game kind of later in life, do you have any advice to women who are, young professionals or any age really who want to pick up the game?
Um, well, if you plan on playing with a future spouse, marry someone who's very patient while you're learning.
Yes.
But other than that, I would say, take a lesson, come to one of the five iron clinics, or, for the ladies, find a group of women who are eager to learn with you, and, don't be embarrassed to get out there if you don't know what you're doing. Like golf is a sport that takes time to learn, and like that's totally okay. So, take a lesson and just put yourself out there, and it takes practice, but I think in the end it's worth it, because golf is a sport that you can play for your entire life. So if you put a few years in the beginning, hopefully you can play till you're 85 years old, and it'll be worth it.
Totally. Yeah, it's definitely a lifelong sport. Before I let you go, what are some, future plans for five iron, or what do you hope to see coming up?
Yeah, so it's obviously been a tough spring for us with all of our locations being closed for a few months.
Sure.
But that being said, we are sort of betting on the future that things will get back to normal and we'll be busy again at all of our locations soon. And with that, we hope to expand to more cities. There are plenty of cities out there that don't have five irons yet that we would love to open in. particularly some cold weather cities. So nothing 100% set in stone yet, but, you know, keep an eye on our Instagram. Hopefully fairly soon we'll be announcing some expansion cities, and, you know, fingers crossed we'll be opening a few more over the next couple of years.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I hope when when I travel somewhere, I can just, see a 5-iron golf location near me.
I mean, look, that's the goal. If we can be in 10, 20, 30 cities in the future, I mean, that would be amazing. And that's what we're all hoping to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and chatting with me. And we'll definitely make sure everyone knows where those 5-iron locations are right now and where we can find you in the future.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for your time too. It was great chatting. And I think, the future of 5-iron is something that really excites me. And I'd love to get more female golfers in all of our spaces going forward. So let's, spread the word to everybody.
Yeah, we'll make it happen. Thanks, Nora.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much.